Hey folks, this is One for the Road, a John Caldwell podcast exploring Mississippi highway issues and infrastructure challenges. Here there's one person and one voice standing up for the road you travel, the road less traveled, the road in most need, and ultimately the road ahead. Each episode we will shed some light on the who, what, when, and why mysteries that leave many of us scratching our heads, searching for better answers. This is Commissioner John Caldwell. Thanks for listening to One for the Road.
Episode 3. What did you know, and when did you know it? Welcome back. This is Season 2, Episode 3 of One for the Road with John Caldwell. We've waited on the legislative session to just about wrap up before continuing this podcast and producing new episodes. Previous episodes are still relevant if you haven't heard them. They're still available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. During this episode, we'll test your knowledge of the Mississippi Department of Transportation and our Mississippi highways, and especially our North Mississippi challenges. You may be surprised at some of the answers. So let's start this game show with a multiple choice question for you. Question number 1. What was MDOT's budget in 1988 to fund the entire department along with the Ahead 4-lane highway program? Was it A, $1.5 billion, B, just over $1 billion, C, just under $1 billion, or D, less than $500 million? If you're not ready or want to think longer about your answers, you can always hit the pause button. Otherwise, here's the answer. The answer is D, less than $500 million. $479,251,905 to be exact. That was the budget. However, only $335,852,296 were spent. Now, for question number 2. What is MDOT's budget today? A, just under $2.5 billion, or B, just under $2 billion, or C, just under $1.5 billion, or D, just under $1 billion. The answer is C, just under $1.5 billion. It's actually $1.44 billion and change, plus some special capacity project funds set aside in a one-time money account so we can pay to finish some pending construction. While increases have taken us to a better place, our budget has already reached $1.33 billion way back in 2016. Then it steadily declined for the next 5 years, bottoming out at $1 billion for 2021, while the concerns of revenue losses during the COVID pandemic were part of the calculus. If MDOT's budget had gone up with inflation rather than down, our budget today would be at least $1.8 billion. So you see, while we have more dollars, our spending power is not what it used to be. Even new fuel taxes won't get us there. All right, question number 3. What is the state and federal fuel tax at Mississippi gas pumps today? Is it A, 7% and 5% respectively, or B, 18.4 cents a gallon state and 13 cents a gallon federal, or C, 16 cents per gallon state and 5% federal, or D, 18.4 cents per gallon state and 18.4 cents per gallon federal? Have you had enough time to think about that one? The answer is D, 18.4 cents state and 18.4 cents federal, for a total of 36.8 cents per gallon, plus an additional 6 cents federal fuel tax on diesel. Mississippi's excise tax on fuel will rise 3 cents this year to 21.4 cents, and by 2028 to 27.4 cents. That's about the national average as of 3 years ago. Comparatively, Florida sits 11 cents higher at 38.6 cents for the state, and California is the highest with 68.1 cents per gallon on state fuel tax. Mississippi's new fuel tax still doesn't catch inflation, and the index or the built-in adjustment that's been provided is capped for some reason below the future inflation rates. It's why the Commission was not out promoting an insufficient revenue source such as this fuel tax. And I was hoping for some revenue diversions from the existing yet undesignated internet use tax, or some other source we can talk about on other episodes. With the compromised fuel tax rate, we're just sinking this ship at a slower rate. So enough about budget and taxes. Let's talk about highways. Question number 4. What region of the state has the best or worst highways? Everybody seems to think it's their own. But let's take a look at it. Is it A, the best in the south and the worst in the north? Or B, the best in the central, worst in the north? Or maybe C, best in the south, worst in the central? Or finally D, the best roads in the central and the worst in the south? The answer is A. The best highways are in the south and the worst highways are in the north. And it's not even close. With our highways typically rated from good to fair to poor, the Southern District has 5,075 lane miles of highway in good condition and only about 977 miles of poor condition lane miles. The Northern District, by comparison, has the most total miles and yet 1,500 fewer good miles and 2,000 more bad miles than the South. And while the Central District has about 2,000 fewer total miles than the Northern District, the North still has over 1,000 poorly rated lane miles than the Central District. Something needs to be done now and should have been done yesterday. 10 floors of smart people are working to provide a statewide plan for better recommendations to enable data-driven decisions that could address that discrepancy. The Commission is still waiting on that recommendation. Maybe we should create our own version of DOGE, especially when considering efficient timelines and more data-driven paving solutions. On behalf of North Mississippi Highway Maintenance, I hope we get there soon. And finally, question number 5. How much more revenue will MDOT receive from the recently approved House Bill 1? Is it A, just under $50 million, B, $50 million in year 1, plus $50 million in year 2, plus $50 million in year 3? Or C, $125 million in year 1, $135 million more in year 2, and $150 million more in year 3? Or even D, $150 million in year 1, $300 million in year 2, plus another $50 million in year 3? The answer is B, $50 million a year in year 1, and another $50 million in year 2, and an additional $50 million in year 3. So a grand total of about $150 million. And that's not just modest, it's overshadowed by a legislative debate already talking about taking away $80 million lottery proceeds from MDOT. That would leave a net gain of $70 million for our highways, added to a $1.5 billion budget. And if I may remind you, we are more than $250 million behind inflation at the moment. It's been well documented that MDOT has had a revenue shortfall $350 to $450 million for annual maintenance alone. Select capacity project estimates are well over $5 billion, and based on our only legislative list, the Vision 21 plan, real cost estimates easily exceed double-digit billions. Folks, this game show has been about all the fun I can stand for one podcast. But I'll leave you with one bonus question. When are we going to prioritize our Mississippi highways? That question remains unanswered for now. Expect the typical let's wait and see response from most. Well, we don't have to wait. We can see, and we can do basic math. It doesn't add up. Besides, I'm not a wait and see type of person. I'm more of a type that asks, what did we know? When did we know it? And what did we do about it?
Thanks again for listening. New podcast episodes will be shedding more light on unique transportation challenges across Mississippi. If you've enjoyed this and are ready for more, please hit the like button below, make a comment. place a review, or share this podcast with a friend. And join our following on Commissioner John Caldwell Facebook page. Until next time, slow down, drive in the right lane, and watch out for that pothole.